Take 23, action. Ah, shit.
Evening, everybody. How y'all doing?
How's it going?
Good to hear. I'd like to tell you guys a story of a bad habit I had. When I joined the Navy, I had a really bad attitude. I didn't want to hear anybody's stories or what they wanted to tell me and their orders because I thought they're idiots, to be honest. I didn't appreciate the fact that they have more experience than me and they might know what they're talking about. I didn't care because you know what? I was set in my rut. I was set in this routine that I just couldn't break. Later, I grew up a little bit. But according to Dugan, Neil, and Graybill, people develop bad habits out of routine, out of aid, out of environment, a lot of different reasons. When starting a new habit, you have to think of the cues, the routine, the rewards, and the repeat to be able to break a bad habit. Let's talk about the cues and the routine. A cue is the beginning. It's like the trigger while you're shooting. When you want to go to the gym, you have to put on your clothes, you have to get your keys, and you have to get to the gym. That's the cue. This initiates the habit. So after the cue, you have the routine. The routine is everything else. I'm at the gym, I do what I'm doing at the gym. So when you have a routine, you want to structure yourself with a plan. The more you put effort into structuring this, the more likely you'll be able to invest time into performing this task. So, after the cue and after the routine, we have the reward and the repeat. The reward is simple. It's positive reinforcement. Like talking to a friend when you have a bad time. It feels good to release, but that's actually your mind being stimulated. You want positive feedback from this person. You don't talk to most people looking to be insulted. You don't want to be around that person. So that's not a reward, it's a punishment. So you want to stay away from those. So thinking about rewards. These are things like if you're going to the gym and you're done with your exercise, you want a milkshake. Or you want to take yourself to the shower because you might be kind of rancid. Fair enough? So after the reward, we have the repeat. Okay? So you went to the gym one time. That's nice. You went to the gym 2 times. That's great too. You have to be consistent. It's not really about the performance. You want to be consistent because when you start a habit, it's really not a matter of fact that, hey, you have results. It's a matter of fact that you kept on doing it. So you want to continue to repeat. Now, after you repeat, then we'll talk about the bad habits and how to create new habits. So when you have a bad habit, it's not necessarily a bad habit. Did you see what I did? I realized something. So that's what you want to do when you have a bad habit. You want to realize the habit. It's bad. But what makes it bad? For example, you put on your shoes. I like to tie my shoes, but maybe today you didn't tie your shoes. So you left to go to work. You're driving and you move your foot too fast and your shoe slipped off. Now you just caused yourself a real dangerous situation because now you have a shoe underneath your accelerator. That's a bad habit because you did not take the procedures of being safe. Fair enough? So after a bad habit has been identified, you want to break down what's wrong with the habit so you can actually structure a good thing for it. So putting on your shoe is not a bad thing, but maybe not tying your shoe is. So you want to tie your shoe and make sure you tie your shoe properly. Wouldn't want to have a car accident. So creating a habit. Same thing we talked about earlier. You want to take the steps. You want to identify your cue. You want to understand your routine and your reward. Then repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. After you have all these steps all all into your bucket, you want to understand that it translates to a lot of things. Habits rule our lives. So remember that. When you have a cue, it's the beginning. It's putting on your shoes. Your routine is everything, what you have to do. Then you have the reward that's a positive reinforcement that you want. So it stimulates in your mind that this is what you want to do. And then you just repeat. Simple as that. So, my bad habit, when I joined the Navy, I had a bad attitude. I didn't want to go to muster on time, and finally what ended up happening was that I got called out, and I was written up and pretty much talked to sternly, so they say. I was in Okinawa, Japan, and I was ready to go back home after a 9 months deployment. Well, I was running late to my muster, and my chief talked to me sternly, and he told me that if I do this again, I can stay for the next 2 weeks here in Okinawa. And I just realized that this was probably a bad habit that I need to take care of right now, because I want to go home. Well, thank you for your time. Y'all take care.
All right.